Welcome back everyone, Simply Legal. Terry Kahuma here again, your host on the channel and your daily simple legal guide. Thank you for joining me in the channel. The channel has come very far. The momentum is skyrocketing like this. We are at 900 subscribers. Yay! Okay, aside from that, there are people in the analytics section. People have commented. Thank you so much. People from Philippines, from Canada, from the US. I love the fact that you love the channel. My previous video on this channel was about how to adopt a child in Uganda and was also about how to legally buy land in Uganda. I'll leave the links in the description below if you did not watch those videos. If you want any further queries on these particular videos that we watched and any more questions, you just leave it in the comment section and I can even do a part 2 gladly. Today we're here to talk to you about something different, something which is not done usually here. It's about intellectual property rights, and let's go. So today we're going to look at what are called trademarks. Trademarks are an example of intellectual property rights in Uganda and all over the world. But many of you are asking, what is a trademark? A trademark is simply a symbol, a number, a logo, numerical values, a sign, whatever it is that can distinguish your good from any other good. In other words, as Simply Legal likes to put it, a trademark is something that distinguishes you, that shows a difference between you and another person. Human beings in themselves have their own trademarks. We are trademarks in our own. For those of you who may be doubting your own self-worth, this is just a side, then just know you're a trademark on your own. Anyway, aside from that, let me give you an example of trademarks that can simplify the law for you. For example, you have Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, I'm not advertising for less advertising purposes. Coca-Cola is an example of a trademark. If you look at just the words Coca-Cola and even its logo kind of vibe, if you look at Coca-Cola, this is an example of a trademark. Actually, Coca-Cola has had one of the longest trademarks all over the world. Let me give you another example. We have Glovo. In Uganda today we have many companies which have their own trademarks. I'm sure this word Glovo and also the signs and symbols, the colors and everything of Glovo is an example of its own trademark. Many times in Uganda we are not even aware that we are stealing people's own trademarks. Like I took you back to the original example, a trademark is something that distinguishes you from another person. Maybe for someone who may not really understand what a trademark is, let me give you a third example. I just ordered for this. I'm still not advertising for Cafe Javas, but I still ordered for this. This is an example of a trademark. CJ's, just this word here, Cafe Javas, is its own trademark, its own sign. Even the colors. So basically, if someone infringes on your copyright, now to understand what a copyright is, let's look at the infringement part. If you sue someone for infringement of your copyright, I mean of your trademark rather, that means that they have copied either the signs, the colors, or anything that basically distinguishes you from another person. The history of trademarks came up where someone would have created something and another person wants to create something similar to that. So even if your product is similar to the original owner's make, then that means that person can sue you under copyright. Therefore, I also take you to types of trademarks. What are types of trademarks? We have descriptive trademarks. We have arbitrary trademarks. Basically what I'm trying to say is that you can trademark just about anything which distinguishes your brand from a different brand. For example, for the basketball lovers, we have LeBron James. Even just his Laker jersey having LeBron James, that is a trademark in itself. So LeBron James actually has rights to his trademark as a person. People who are superstars, people who are celebrities, they trademark even their names. For soccer fans, I'll look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He has that famous jersey of his, which identifies him as his own brand. So when we say descriptive trademarks, it should describe you extremely different from another person. For example, my channel, if I decided to trademark my channel being Simply Legal by Terry Kahuma, then I should trademark Simply Legal by Terry Kahuma or just Simply Legal Uganda to show that it is my own thing. I can even put the colors, the blue and white. Just basically I'm trying to simplify the law for you to show that Simply Legal can be its own trademark in itself. You can go to Uganda Registration Services Bureau and say, I want to trademark my YouTube channel called Simply Legal. Another thing, you can even trademark a logo. For example, many companies have slogans. For example, we have KFC. KFC has its finger licking good. So if another company adopts its finger licking good, then KFC can actually sue them for stealing their slogan. So that brings me to my next point. A slogan can be trademarked. So actually in the law of trademark we say trademarked, meaning this is your own brand, this is your trademark. I'll give you another example. We talked about Cafe Javas. Cafe Javas was actually in a lawsuit against Java House, and Java House originates from Kenya, whereas Cafe Javas originates from Uganda. This is by a businessman called Mandela. So there was a lot of similarity between Cafe Javas and Java House, because Java House expanded its franchise to Uganda. So when Cafe Javas looked at Java House, they saw that they were stealing their competition, and that is actually the function of trademark. If Adidas has come up with its own logo and it has its 3 signs, as you normally see Adidas shoes, another company comes up with a different name but also has those 3 stripes that Adidas normally has, then Adidas can sue them. Likewise, this is what happened in Uganda. Cafe Javas sued Java House, first of all because of the name Java. Cafe Javas had already registered its trademark in Uganda and at Uganda Registration Services Bureau as Cafe Javas, and then Java House came and also registered its name. So that the similarity was so close, a customer may look and say, but should I go to Cafe Javas or should I go to Java House? Anyway, it seems they are the same company, whereas there's a distinction, and the owner of the company or the owner of the trademark wants there to be a clear-cut distinction that, you know what, my customer should not be able to confuse Cafe Javas with Java House. Our brands are different, everything is different. So that is what a trademark is. Those are types of trademarks. I've given you examples of descriptive trademarks, arbitrary trademarks, even writings, art pieces, anything that distinguishes you from a different person can be what are called trademarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now gone to what a trademark is. I've explained to you in detail, simplifying the law for you. So now that we've looked at what a trademark is, let's look at why a trademark should be registered. Let's go. Number 1, a trademark should be registered because it distinguishes you from the other person. In other words, it gives a clear-cut description of what your brand is, why your brand is this, what your quality of goods are, and that you should never be ever confused with another person. You need to know that trademarks, the entire point of trademark is to give a distinction between this other person and another person. I'll never stress that enough. Number 2, a trademark is brought up about, or why you should register a trademark is that it enables you to sue in case someone infringes on your trademark. In other words, if you have spent time creating something and if you've spent time manufacturing something, you even come up with the logos, you've registered everything, and someone wants to come and ride on your fame. Guys, someone wants to come and ride on your fame. And that's a very bad thing, because trademark is basically a police or your safeguard that if someone comes and does something very similar to what you did, even just the slightest bit, then you can sue them under trademark laws of Uganda. By the way, I even forgot to mention, trademarks in Uganda are governed by the Trademarks Act of Uganda. So therefore, you can move under whatever kind of, you can move in any kind of action. There are specific laws, the specific sections under which you can move, because the situations are a bit different, but still you can sue someone if you know and sense that this person has infringed on your trademark. And the third reason is that in this world we're different. I know this is a legal channel, but I have to tell you that still the distinction comes into play, because we're all different in this world. And just because you want to make something similar to what Coca-Cola is, then you cannot make it because Coca-Cola has that right. Actually, this brings me to my next point. Coca-Cola actually sued Reham Cola. I don't know whether many of you, well, I'm 25, many of you may not have lived in my generation, but Reham Cola came about around 2012, and Riham Cola had exactly what Coca-Cola had. It had the ingredients, it had the spice, it had the patent, it had the recipe for whatever Coca-Cola had. In other words, they were a copycat of Coca-Cola. Sorry Riham people, for those of you who enjoy it, sorry, I have to burst your bubble here. So Coca-Cola realized that Riham was copying it in every kind of way, and they had to sue Riham Cola, both under copyright laws and under trademark, because Riham even had the red colors of Coca-Cola, it had Riham Cola, even that word cola. Coca-Cola was the first to come up with it. So those are the reasons under which you should register your copyright. And let me now take you to the how, and we finish the video. I've now explained to you the why you should register your trademark. Let me now explain to you how you should register your trademark. Let's go. Number one, we look at the Trademarks Act of Uganda 2010. Actually, it's the Trademarks Act of 2010. This has both the rules and regulations of what is necessary to register your trademark. This has everything concerning your trademarks in Uganda, everything you need to know. So later I will do a video breaking down for the entire Trademarks Act, but this video in particular is how to register your trademark. Anyway, so let's go. Under section 5 of the Trademarks Act 2010, it stipulates that you should apply to register your trademark, but in particular apply to conduct a search to see whether your trademark has been taken up or it already exists. For example, if I want to register Coca-Cola in Uganda, I have to now conduct a search and see whether Coca-Cola Uganda already exists, and if I find that it exists, then I have to now come up with another trademarkable feature. For example, it can be a sign, it can be a name, it can be a slogan, like I explained earlier. Then number two, once you've conducted a search and you've realized that everything is A-okay, everything is good, then you can now apply to register your trademark. In other words, you can now give the details of what your trademark feature is doing. Maybe let's say you're dealing in sodas, you're dealing in shoes, you're dealing in cameras. Then you have to give specifics of the goods, you have to give specifics of your location, your name, your address, and therefore, and actually now this is applying for an ordinary Ugandan, you also have to present your national ID to show that you are a Ugandan. Then, if you're a national, if you're a foreigner in Uganda, there's also a stipulation for you in the law, still under section 5 and section 7 of the Trademarks Act 2010. Under section 5 and 7, it also stipulates that for a foreigner, you have to present what's called a power of attorney. You have to present documents from your from your country of origin. You also have to present whatever shows that you are a foreigner in Uganda, that you're not a national, if you want to register a trademark or a trademarkable feature in Uganda. So I've now covered that. That was step number 2. Number 3, you now, once you've passed the search that has been conducted, and you find that no one has your trademark in Uganda, if you have submitted in all the necessary documents to show that I'm either Ugandan or I'm not a Ugandan, then they will now publish your trademarkable feature in the Ugandan Gazette. We call it the Daily Gazette, or in the Gazette, according to Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Now, this normally takes about 60 days. 6 days, let's do the math people here, that's about 2 months. If in about 2 months they realize that your trademark, no one has it again, then you're liable to now paying registration fees of your trademark. I'll not mention this here because it got me into trouble the last time I mentioned fees here. But anyway, you can always contact me if you want to know about the fees for registration. And finally, once the Daily Gazette has found that you don't have any competitor in terms of your trademark, or if no one already has your trademark, if your thing is very unique and distinct, then you already have your trademark. I'd like to mention, by the way, for people who want to register your trademark, there's something that exists called passing off. And this may be something that mostly law students who did intellectual properties like me know, but passing off is stated under section 2 of the Trademarks Act 2010. Passing off, according Simply Legal, like we like to simplify the law here for you, it means that someone is basically an imposter in terms of your channel. Someone is passing off, they want to disguise that I'm the one actually selling Adidas goods, kahuma, you should come to me. But in other words, there's already an Adidas company, Uganda. So passing off is basically someone is using your name to show that, you know what, I'm the sole distributor of Adidas shoes, and yet there's already Adidas Uganda. So that's what passing off means. Many of you should be careful about imposters, people who normally want to show that they are the registered license of this trademark, yet there's already someone who is formally registered. So there you go, guys. That is exactly how to register your trademark in Uganda. This is, I can say a lot about trademarks, but I wanted to explain to you what a trademark is, how to register a trademark in Uganda. The time, this is the final part, the time for when your trademark should last is 7 years, meaning that if Uganda Registration Services Bureau has registered your trademark license lasts for about 7 years. Then after 7 years, it's up to you to renew it or not. If you don't renew it in a space of about 3 years, then your trademark becomes public domain. So most of these distinct companies like Cafe Javas, restaurants like KFC, you know, things like Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, these have already registered their trademarks in Uganda and they last for 7 years. So it's up to you to renew it under or at Uganda Registration Services Bureau. So finally, who can trademark in Uganda? As long as you have a distinct feature and it doesn't collide with any other person, then that means that you can trademark. Anyone can trademark in Uganda, whether you're a foreigner or you're a local. So thank you so much for listening to me, guys. Kahuma here as always. I will be here all the time to simplify the law for you like Simply Legal does. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and for those of you who are new to my channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button, feel free to hit the comment section. Tell me about what you thought about this video, tell me what you want to do in another video, tell me what you want me to talk about in a future video. And for those of you who are new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button again. I will always be here to simplify the law for you creatively, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.